Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, Ryan Holiday, Tim Ferriss. Do any of these names ring a bell for you? All four of them are known for their practice of Stoic philosophy, a school of life based on these three principles. Number one, radical acceptance of fate. Number two, detachment from external outcomes. And number three, the practice of focusing only on what's within one's control. Now, what about Lao Tzu, Buddha, Jesus Christ, Rumi, Alan Watts, Eckhart Tolle, Deepak Chopra? Do any of these names ring a bell for you? I hope so. Otherwise, welcome to planet Earth. Those 7 legends are all known for their practice of oneness, a way of life based on these 3 principles. Number 1, unity, the idea that everything is interconnected and we're all part of a greater whole. Number 2, unconditional love, recognizing the shared experience of suffering and striving to alleviate it in ourselves and in others. And number 3, living in the now, accepting life as it unfolds without any attachment to past or future. Now, what if we mixed the two? My name is Danny Banchev, I'm the founder of the Off-Born Academy, and today I will share with you the one philosophy that helped me overcome diagnosed anxiety, spending the first 10 years of my life waking up in the middle of the night, every single night with absolute terror, running to my parents' room, my mom not being able to have a good night's of sleep for like years just because I was afraid of monsters. Those monsters later on turning into social anxiety, fear of judgment, fear of rejection during my teenage years, experiencing panic attacks every time I had to speak in front of a class, not being able to say a single word to a girl, depressive seasons, suicidal thoughts, all of that stuff, the good stuff, right? To now being able to live life as a creative entrepreneur, a content creator, public speaker, model, actor, being a symbol, an example of confidence, charisma, happiness, peace, joy. Like, I'm saying this in a humble way, but just to paint a picture of how much things can actually change and how if I was able to do it, you can too. The one philosophy I'm talking about is Stoic Oneness. So the next few minutes will be separated into 2 different sections. The first section, we're going to talk about the Stoic Oneness philosophy and how it can serve you. I'm going to challenge you a little bit in this one, but stay with me, it's worth it. And then in the second section, I'm going to share 3 steps with you on how to find peace by taking back control over your life. So let me ask you a question. Have you ever felt like a separate fragment in a hostile, chaotic, confusing universe? Me too. But what an interesting illusion to be in. It's as if we forgot that physicists in the past century have already proved thousands of times that all matter is made out of atoms. Like, we are made out of atoms, our cats are made out of atoms, the air is made out of atoms, etc. Yet the space between these atoms is literally thousands of times larger than the atoms themselves. That means that all matter, including you and I, is made out of 99.99% space. So if we agree on the statement that you and I are not individual atoms, then is there truly separation between us and everything else in the universe? Alright, stay with me. If a scientist was to open our brains, would they be able to find our identities, our names, our stories, our regrets, our wants, our desires, our memories, our achievements, beliefs, or values? So if we all agree that that stuff cannot be found within the physical limit of our skull, then where is the limit? But even then, is all of that mental stuff who we really are? I mean, could we really be our minds? Wouldn't that mean that we also would have to be our thoughts? What if we decide to think the thought, I am Jesus Christ? Would that be who we are? And by the way, how could we observe our thoughts if those thoughts were us? That would be like thinking that the reflection we see in the mirror is who we really are, when it's literally just light bouncing off the surface, an illusion of the real thing. Told you were about to be mind-fucked, but stay with me if you can still take it. Have you ever felt like your mind is racing at 1,000 miles per hour, but you're stuck in this loop, overwhelmed by everything and absolutely nothing at the same time? Me too. Another very interesting place to be, as if we forgot that number 1, there's no way for us to accurately predict the consequences of our actions in the future with absolute certainty. There's no way. And caring about our image in the minds of other people is like caring about nothing, empty, absolute zero, nothingness, absence. Even putting words on it gives it too much relevance for what it actually is. It's like chasing a rainbow, a literal reflection that comes and goes and that can never be grasped. The closest we can get to something tangible is this. Their image of us is just an electric signal firing through a network of fatty tissue and water in their skull. That's it. So only with these two facts you can say bye-bye to two of the core fears people experience. Number one, the future. Number two, the opinions of others. Bye-bye. Oh, and by the way, from the day we are born to the day we die, no matter what we say or do or think or feel, nothing will ever change the fact that our worth fundamentally is exactly the same as those trees outside of our homes just peacefully chilling their whole lives. I've already said it, but it's worth repeating. We've all been created somehow. Therefore, our existence is technically worth it in the eyes of our creator, whatever created us. We will never know the deepest reason of why we exist, but we know there's a reason simply because we do. We have no idea what the universe even is, but we know it's something because it is. With that being said, here is the core fundamental truth I want to get to. There is only one thing we can ever truly control, and it's the action we are taking right now. Not the action we took 5 seconds ago or the action we're about to take in 5 seconds. Just this moment, now. That's it. This is Stoic Oneness. So here are 3 steps on how to find peace by taking back control over your life. Step number 1, schedule time for presence. What I mean by presence is absence of identification with words, emotions, and senses about past or future. In other words, it's about recognizing that whatever happens in our minds is not who we really are. We are the conscious awareness, not the thinkers. So set aside 20 minutes per day where you just sit down without any distractions, or take a walk in nature, again without any other distraction, allowing yourself to just observe what's happening inside of you in an open and curious way. Step number 2, humble yourself every single morning. This is one of the most powerful exercises I've ever discovered. So every morning in your journaling session, remind yourself of what's actually in your control and what's not. You can literally separate the sheet in 2 and separate that stuff on both sides and note down what's in your control on one side and what's not in control on the other. If you're really honest with yourself, you'll end up realizing that there's not much you're actually in control of, which might feel like a curse at first, but it's actually an incredible blessing, especially when you go to step number 3, which is to set a small goal in the day that is 100% within your control. And then you celebrate that win in the evening by acknowledging its achievement. That's how you let go of stuff you can't control anyways, while strengthening your self-esteem. It's a win-win. So I really hope these lessons will help you chill some of that anxiety down while moving towards inner peace. Remember, life is one hell of a beautiful mystery. No one, no matter how wise they seem to be, has it all figured out. Nobody. In a sense, we're all just kind of yeeting it out. Taking life too seriously condemns us to a life of heaviness and internal misery. Approaching it from a place of curiosity sets us up for a life of lightness and freedom and even adventure. So stay wise. Much love to y'all. That was all for me today. Hopefully you really found this valuable. I know it's challenging. If you want to listen to it again and truly try to feel what you experience within when you're listening to me ask these questions. I would be curious to know what you feel about that philosophy in the comments. By the way, whenever you're ready, there are 2 more ways I can help. Number 1, if you prefer learning by reading, then you'll be happy to hear that this video you just watched is just the exact script of only one of the 3 lessons I shared in this week's edition of the Triple Wisdom Wednesdays. This is my newsletter. Every week I share 3 valuable lessons that can help you progress faster with less pain. It takes about 10 minutes to read. It's completely free, so if you want to sign up, the link is in the description. Or if you prefer learning by watching videos like you just did, then this is the right place to be. You can subscribe to this YouTube channel. I will be very grateful. The second way I can help you is that if you have balls and you're on a mission to become the greatest man your bloodline has ever seen, then you can join us in the #1 divine brotherhood in the world. Right now, it's called the Off Point Academy. The link is in the description as well. We'll be waiting for you on the other side. Other than that, Thank you all so much for listening. Much love. Take care. I'll see you here soon. I'm very grateful for you. Bye bye.